There is a game that's been quietly lurking in the background since 1974, but now is making some noise. Dungeons and Dragons. A game of epic adventure, kingdoms to explore, a party of adventurers out to rid the world of mythical evils. I cast Fireball! And sometimes a tavern gets caught in the crossfire.
Oops.
D&D works on the concept of theater of the mind, a described fantastical story told through improvisation by the characters sitting around the table. Using models of miniature buildings, environments, and people, the players' imagined scenes can be brought to life in front of them as they venture to glory. Our game is a one-shot campaign with partially sighted players who will entertain you in the theater of your mind. A game we call DarkVision. So how does D&D work? The player's handbook has pages and pages of information about the game. But at its core, it's pretty simple. You and your friends get a bunch of snacks, a table, and a set of dice. Not your traditional 6-sided dice. You need a bunch of sides. And most importantly, you need a 20-sided dice. The 20-sided dice helps you role play. You say what you want to do, roll the 20-sided dice, and the higher number you get, the better chance you have of succeeding. Not that success is everything, but that's just the mechanics of the game. The real fun in D&D is the role-playing.
I am Jenny, and this is my first time playing D&D. I'm pretty pumped about it. I am someone born with albinism, and that means that I have low vision and extreme light sensitivity. By day, I work with CNIB, and I also get to volunteer with Blind Sports Nova Scotia.
Hey, Jenny.
Yeah?
Do you mind if I do your introduction? It helps to speed things along.
Sure, you can do the heavy lifting.
Jenny is a thoroughbred runner who trains for marathons with a regular route through her neighborhood. Running is a great help for Jenny because she's also an avid baker. When she's not carb loading with her banana chocolate chip muffins, she could be hosting her podcast called Low Vision Moments.
The podcast, all about those comical things that happen with a visual impairment.
After a long day of running, baking, and podcasting, Jenny can be found cuddled up on the couch with her husband, Eves. Jenny is playing a fierce elven fighter named
Hilda Ironside. I'm a wood elf and a fighter with deep warrior bloodlines. I travel these lands in search of combat, delicious food, and of course a good ale.
Hi, I'm Jillian. I'm 24, and my vision impairment is that I have no left field vision of either eye. So if you don't know what that means, I don't see over here. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, and can I get one of those cool montages?
You sure can. Jillian is game for anything, from scuba diving, goalball, and her favorite sport, hockey. Jillian plays blind hockey for the Nova Scotia team and is a fierce competitor. Hockey is a family affair for Jillian as her dad is the coach. They travel all across Canada representing Nova Scotia in blind hockey tournaments. Jillian is playing a delightful musical character named Aoife.
My name is Aoife. Pleased to meet you. I love to sing, I love to dance and bring joy wherever I go. I'm a bard adventuring to find new friends, new places, and who knows, maybe even love. I hope there's a blooper reel.
Hi, my name's Carolyn. I love D&D. I've been playing for 4 years. I have optic nerve atrophy. Anything further than 4 feet in front of me, I find it hard to see. And you do the rest.
You got it. Carolyn lives with her wife Olivia and her service dog Quilla in a quaint apartment overlooking the ocean. Their place is a nerd palace where they're often playing board games and video games together. Every Saturday, they get their friends together for a spirited game of Dungeons and Dragons, with Carolyn's wife Liv as the dungeon master.
Whatever dream that you were having, it's interrupted by the sound of crashing ice.
Carolyn is playing a rogue, a darker character who specializes in thievery.
I'm Jem, an elven rogue. I grew up stealing on the streets, and since then, I've been looking for gems and riches that I can take from the rich and give to the poor. And also keep for myself.
Every part of the narrative that isn't controlled by the players is directed by the dungeon master, The Dungeon Master influences and voices the non-player characters in the game, friend and foe. They mold the world and guide the party on their quest. For DarkVision, our Dungeon Master is Matt Relf. Matt, set up the story for us.
Our heroes, Hilda, Aoife, and Jem, have come aboard a ship named the Lasting Wave in search of great adventure. They have been aided by their friend, Captain Growly, a seasoned sailor with a square-trimmed beard and barrel chest. He's been having difficulty over the last few weeks, as his ship has been missing its first mate, Samuel Honey. Without a competent crew, Growly does not have the confidence to sail the Lasting Wave to further, more lucrative lands. He's brought our adventurers to the remote island where Honey is trapped, the Island of Stone Statues. The sound of gentle waves lapping over one another against the rock can be heard as the ship comes to a halt at the edge of a small dock. Ahead you see a cluster of buildings, mostly small homes of poor quality, a single larger structure with a sturdy stone foundation and a second story made of wood, a path of wet wooden planks over the sand as you walk towards. See a sign dangling out front from rusted chains, swinging, reading Plunker's Place. Captain Growly turns. Come with me. He veers around the side of the building to bring you around the back. As you come around the corner, you see an individual. His bottom half of his body is completely still and stone. The top half of him is normal. Oh, Rowdy, you're back. So good to see you. You've returned, and with friends. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We're not exactly friends yet.
What happened to you?
The last thing I remember was just these two pairs of yellowish red eyes just striking right through me, and I felt my body begin to seize, and before I knew it, I was changing. I had only a moment to finish my drink before I was completely to stone.
Does it hurt?
A little. Can't feel my toes.
You said when you first found your friend that he was fully stone,
Yes,
and now he's half stone.
yes. When I went to go out to greet him in the morning, he was as he is now. He has no memory or explanation to it, and neither do I, but it does lead me to believe that this curse, this sickness, can be cured somehow.
Can I be looking around the area to see what I can see?
Roll me an investigation check.
Pause game. Quick sidebar. When you create your character in D&D, you roll for 6 stats: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. There are a number of things that you can do under these stats that the DM will ask of you. Depending on what your character's abilities are, you could receive a bonus to the roll. Investigation falls under the intelligence attribute. Jem has +1.
Oh, well, I rolled an 18, so 19.
Okay. You see embedded into the bark of the tree a single long claw nail.
Can I try to pull it out?
Roll me a quick strength check.
20. Dirty 20.
Take a moment, you kind of like... As you do, the force of you pulling out like sends you back a little bit, and you kind of stumble, and you hear this crunch underneath your feet. It's kind of like glass. You look down, and you see the remnants of a thin vial. It does have a smell to it. It's not a very pleasant smell. It's almost like the smell of stomach bile.
Can I see it?
Careful, it smells bad.
You should smell it. See if you can identify what it is.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana checks refer to magic. If you're a magic user like Aoife, you know a little bit about where it comes from.
So much.
You smell it. I'm not smelling it. You smell
Oh, I got a 15.
Okay. From what you would gather from this, some kind of potion, elixir, concoction of some kind.
it. Who around here would make such a concoction?
Myself, I'm not entirely sure, but it might be worth inquiring with some of the locals, perhaps. He puts his hand on his shoulder. I do wish for you to be on the ship again. Someday, we will cure you of this curse. I would quite like to leave at some point, yes. The view here is lovely, but it's not particularly nice when it rains.
As the skies open up and the rain pours down, the party heads into the warmth of the tavern to talk to the locals and find some more information on the curse of the island. DarkVision will return after these messages. We now return to DarkVision. Although this is Jillian's first time playing Dungeons & Dragons, she's always been imaginative. She created fantasy characters as a child to help her cope with some tough times.
I had surgery when I was 13 to correct my epilepsy. I was diagnosed at 8 with epilepsy. And we were told when I was roughly about 11, 12 that I wouldn't potentially see 16 if I didn't have surgery. So they took me in, they did a right temporal lobectomy, and as a result, I became visually impaired. That's where I became visually impaired. I essentially went in fully sighted and I came out visually impaired. It was very upsetting, but I've come to accept it. Hey, it gets me on a plane a bit earlier than everyone else. I get to play blind hockey. I've gotten to play goalball. I've gotten to meet all of my friends that I have now. So, I mean, I try to look on the bright side of it now. Aoife is part of who I am. Her optimism, I'm trying to apply that every single day.
Our party of heroes has come to the island of stone statues. They've come by ship with their good friend Growly, the sea captain. His first mate has been partially turned to stone outside the tavern. Aoife, Jem, and Hilda are entering the bar to see if they can find some answers. They are met by the dwarven owner, Plunker.
Hey, Growly! Welcome back, my friend. How fared the seas this time?
Very good, Plunker. I'm here as per usual, of course.
Oh, hi. Friends of yours? Any friend of Captain Growly is a friend of mine. Are you at all drinking or hungry?
2 ales, please, sir.
I'll have a glass of water, please.
I can manage that.
Thank you.
This is a barrel. He just dunks a glass in and puts it up on there. You see a bunch of other cups floating in it. He's like,
Here you are.
washes his hands in it a second later.
I'm gonna stick with ale.
I just dumped my water out.
Growly, you're a little behind on your friend there. As he haven't been back for a little while.
Oh, right, of course. Pulls out a little purse of coin and puts it on the bar for him. Anything you want is on my tab.
You sure?
Of course. Plunker and I have good arrangements.
The gang quickly gets sidetracked from their fact-finding mission after quite a few ales.
I'll have 2 more ales, please.
Jem can't help but indulge her rogue nature and look for a mark to steal a little money from.
Is there anyone in the tavern who looks wealthy?
You see an individual who's wearing a fairly ostentatious earring around one of his ears that kind of curls around with gold and then has a few gems dangling from a chain, 3 fairly decent shiny rubies, pushing his long hair behind his head and kind of oh yes.
Seems like a jerk. I'm gonna try to rob him.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand is one of the specialties for a rogue. Jem is +8.
I rolled a 20, so it's gonna be 28.
You see him kind of flick his head back a little bit and then begin to take a drink, and it's at that moment that you kind of very quickly and with absolute perfection, the clasp click off. He doesn't seem to notice.
I like stealing.
Meanwhile, Hilda looks around the bar for a formidable foe to test her strength with in a game of punch for punch.
Let's do it.
All right, you go first.
I'm gonna throw down my cloak and my bag and
Oh shit.
really get ready here. Square up. I'm gonna finish my ale. I've got like a full one. I'm just gonna throw her back, finish it, square up.
Kind of like, all right, go for it.
So I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, roll me a strength roll, I'd say, for the sake of it.
Overconfident.
No. Aoife was getting ready to play the battle music.
Only a 5.
So as you like wind up and you're like, ah! you smack into his stomach and you kind of hold back at the last second because you're like, oh my god, he's got a very squishy stomach looking, but it's actually rock hard. And he's
He's
like,
got that hard beer belly.
so you got my turn. He swings out. Poof.
Matt rolls for the big oaf.
Oh shit, he knocks you for like 15 strength. So this one will push you back, potentially onto your butt. You're like, cool. And right in the chest. He just goes straight for the center of your chest. And everyone's like, whoa! Huh? You alright?
Hey, I'm alright. It's a good time. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, very good. Okay, you can go again. Go again. Huh?
Yeah. I think I made a new friend.
Can you?
They're just finishing another round when Aoife gets the courage to approach the stage.
We've got a singer, newbie! Sing us a song! Like people are turning their chairs towards you and like,
Listen to the music of the thundering sea. In the blue Atlantic night eternally.
I haven't heard that since my mother used to sing it to me.
Oh, you know it?
I've heard it before.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this point, the party has gained some favor with the locals. They start to feel comfortable sharing some of their stories of the mysterious happenings around the island.
Oh, I saw this creature. It was large and this skin, it was like a salamander or something. I seen it. I seen it.
it screams sometimes in the night. Sometimes it takes bits and pieces. I think it eats the stone.
What about old Lucy? She went out for a few weeks, never come back.
And then you hear another story as like Plunker, the bartender, kind of like,
Well, you know, there's also that crazy Moss. He comes in every now and then. He lives out in the wilds, trying to work up a cure and things like that. Strange man. But if you're looking to fix the circumstances, I would start by looking for him, I guess.
There's someone who lives in the woods with the creature.
Doesn't have a home as far as I know. Every now and then he'll come around here, sell a few of his elixirs to us, really good for the stomach. I might have a couple behind the bar. He goes, starts looking.
And I think we need to look into this gnome.
Absolutely.
right, it's getting a bit late here, and I'm glad you are all enjoying yourselves, but we have a bit of an early morning tomorrow, and my best advice would for us to get some rest. I'll see you bright and early.
How early?
Sun up.
You may need to knock twice.
I will knock the third time if necessary.
Yeah, okay, good.
The tavern is lively into the evening. As the hours pass, the roar of the party turns to crickets and the sounds of night. Then, just before sunrise, they are awakened.
The building rumbles. And you hear this immense crashing as the portion of where you're sleeping right now, the floorboards, the walls begin to crash. And you hear downstairs screaming, panicking, and like screaming. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna jump out. Is there a window?
There's a window.
Yeah, I'm going out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just straight out.
Roll me
It's not
athletic.
that high, is it?
About 10 feet up. Roll me
Yeah,
athletics
we're
check.
good. Yeah.
As a fighter, athletics are one of Hilda's strong stats.
17.
Okay. Duck out and land just fine without injury.
I'm running to Growly's door.
Okay. So as you open up your door, you see the bottom of the bar. Growly's room is gone. Like the whole front has been torn off or destroyed. You see bodies, people that have been slashed apart. You see Plunker holding his chest, grievous wound across, kind of slumping over the bar like and pointing in one direction where all three of you see Growly. And his legs are beginning to turn to stone.
No.
What do you guys want to do?
Aoife's running to him. She's doing that healing touch.
You want to do a spell?
Yeah. So I'm casting Cure Wounds.
Okay.
So I'm touching him.
Cass, and you see like a few scrapes across his arm that
Yeah.
suddenly just get healed up, and he's kind of like, creature that way, dude, look at its eye. As the stone begins to seal up completely, and you see his whole head kind of frozen, petrified. Its arm pointing out, still screaming.
No. I plan to kiss on his lips with that hope of true love's kiss.
You guys see Aoife just like wrap her arms around and pull her head in towards his lips and give him a soft, gentle kiss on his stone lips.
I'm gonna run over there as well. Yeah. But before I get there, I'm gonna be like, Aoife, what are you doing?
It's true love's kiss.
Well, he's still made of stone, isn't he?
And then, I know I gotta get up.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull you up off the ground. I'm gonna be like, let's go.
Yeah.
We need to find Gem.
Yeah.
Gem is going to be investigating the bodies and looking for gems or any other little trinkets that I can get.
It's like sick, free pickings.
The building is literally falling down around you.
There could be some good
There
stuff.
are body parts everywhere.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 18.
Okay, there's not much to look through as like the ruins of people's bones and body parts and things like that, but you do see a severed hand with a decently sized sapphire in the center of it.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Won't be needing this
Shocking.
anymore.
So I'm gonna show to these two and be like, what are you idiots doing? Stop. Stop looking for gems and kissing statues. Let's go in the direction of the creature.
The party holds Growly in their hearts as they head down the bloodied path of their former tavern mates into the jungle, into the unknown, on a hunt for the creature. DarkVision will return after these messages. We now return to DarkVision.
I got into D&D because my wife played. D&D is just a safe place where you can be whoever you want to be, whatever you want to be, and just have fun with friends. And the thing about D&D is you also get closer with your friends because you're going on all of these adventures. You have to learn how to work together as a team quicker than any other game really that I know. And the fun thing is that you think you know your friends and then you play D&D with them and you find out how murderous they are. And then you're questioning your life.
The party slashes down a dense jungle path in search of the creature who turned their friend to stone. And in the distance, in a clearing, they see a stone elven man. Clad in plate armor, he holds an orb in one hand and gazes down at a pool of water in front of him as a curious moth comes to land.
It lands atop his head, where you see this very strange cap.
I'm gonna approach and take the cap off.
Okay, do so. It's a very strange cap, but like these little eye covers that are very cloudy when you like look at them.
Seems like a good tool to hunt this creature. Seems like something that could protect the eyes and save us from perhaps being turned to stone.
Yes.
But
Yes.
doesn't seem to have worked for this fellow.
No. Why not? I'm curious about the orb he's holding.
You see the moth kind of fly from the branch that it was resting on and flap over, and before it very gently lands on the top of this orb. As soon as it does, it emits this blinding light you guys cannot see right now.
I want to throw the cap on.
Okay.
Yes.
As you pull the cap on, this is the strangest thing you've ever experienced, but the entire world around you is like crystal clear.
That would be strange.
The blinding white light suddenly gone, and you see the moth just flap into the trees.
Can you two see now?
Yeah. I wonder if that orb is still intact. I mean, it could be useful for fighting this creature.
Jem is gonna try to see what's going on with the water.
So as you come over to this water, you see your reflection, for one. But it's actually quite strange, because you see your reflection again, but about 3 feet below the surface.
I'm going to take my sword out. And I'm going to stick it in the water.
Okay. As you stick it down, you feel this kind of like clink, the vibration that comes up. It's like metal hitting metal.
I put my hand in the water,
Okay.
trying to identify it.
Okay. So as you reach your hand down into the water, your hand grips around to the side where you can like feel the size of it in the back. And as you begin to pull it out, you start to realize that this is like a large shield with a big mirror on the front of it. The edges of it are beautiful, engraved in like silver and intricate patterns. And as you pull it out, there's this moment of resistance where you're like, it's stuck on something. And you roll me a strength check.
Oh, this isn't going to be good.
Strength is not usually a strength of the bard.
Hey, that's not bad, 16.
A good roll, but will it be enough as Matt rolls against Aoife?
So as you do, and you feel this resistance, and you're pulling, and something pulls back for a moment before you're like, hey, and you pull free, and as it kind of comes out of the water and the beads of water sprinkle around, there is a creature attached to the other side. As you see this claw coming up and this one massive green eye in the center of its head. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
As all your eyes just see is this one giant green eye from this creature, like
7. It was almost a 20.
7.
Aoife did not pass her saving throw and will take necrotic damage from this beast.
So as you feel this eye penetrate into, it is haunting and horrifying. And as you see Aoife looking at this creature and this creature looking at her, her skin begins to kind of peel around her face. It's going to try and go down into the water again with the shield. As it's like pulling it with one hand, you'll get an attack of opportunity as it tries to escape.
Okay.
So roll me an attack roll as it tries to go into the pool of water again.
19.
19 hits. Would you like to describe this? This will kill the creature.
I still have my dagger in my hand, and I go for that giant under the eyeball. Like, not today, ugly. And straight in the center of that ugly
Stab
thing.
forth the old twist.
Yes.
You see the whole eyeball shift in like with the dagger basically, and you kind of like as its head goes completely limp.
See, that's how it's done.
As the sound of this creature bubbling into the pool escape its last dying breaths, you see the same moth begin to flap its way over before you see it begin to strangely change. And it suddenly grows tall, and you see its wings change to long strands of hair, and it stands up tall, and you see this about 3.5 foot tall gnomish man.
You've killed it?
Yes. Well, she killed it.
We need these items immediately. The shield. Yes. You can do this. The creature on the island.
Yes.
We must hunt it. I am Moss. I live here on the island. I've been trying to solve this problem, the curse, many years. I feel like I've got this elixir down. However, there's one crucial component I've been theorizing about. Perhaps why my previous elixirs haven't worked entirely. I need the ingredients to be fresh for the elixir to work properly. If we can kill this creature and harvest the ingredients that I need from its stomach immediately, I believe I can cure everyone here.
You know where to find them?
I know exactly where his lair is. Follow me, right away. It's down this path.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
The party now has some magical items that they hope will come in handy when trying to defeat the creature. And their new counterpart, Moss, crazy as he is, has a plan to cure the island. As they head towards the creature's lair, they'll see if they can put it all together for Moss to make his final elixir. DarkVision will return after these messages. We now return to DarkVision.
The big thing that drew me into D&D, and I think the best part about it was that it was fun. It was a good time. I place a lot of importance in having fun, enjoying yourself in life. A lot of people have a lot of responsibilities and things going on in their lives, and life is demanding and life is hard work. But it's really important to take time out to just have a good time and enjoy yourself. And if you can do that with other people while playing a game and being creative and using your imagination, then that's all the better. And I really didn't know that was going to happen at all. I didn't know what to expect. I enjoyed that aspect, the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen, because so much of life is planned and boring, and this is not that. This is fun, and you get to kind of make it what you want to make it as well.
After many hours of travel with their new ally, Moss, the party comes across a cavern that leads to a ruined castle sitting amongst the rocks. A small stream guides them into the entrance, where it's dark, almost pitch black.
You can hear the subtle dripping of water echoing from beyond that kind of meets your ears, cutting through the silence like a fine blade. Moss kind of points.
It's down there. Now, I will be close by, but I cannot help in this fight against this creature. As soon as it is slain, we must harvest immediately.
The six-legged reptilian creature bellows from its ruined castle. A warning for anyone who comes near.
The stealthiest of us is Jem. Jem, you go first. So you spot the creature. You shine the light. Remember to cover your eyes.
Yes.
And I will show the thing its ugly mug. And hopefully it'll just turn itself to stone.
What's plan B?
Plan B is magic. What have you got?
Of course it is.
What have you got?
I can thunderclap.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's go stealthy.
Roll me a stealth check.
With the marching orders set, the party rolls stealth checks individually as they enter the lair.
27.
All right.
I got 9.
Big 2.
Okay. So, you guys see Jem disappear through the window silently as Aoife begins to make your way up. You see her foot a little bit slip, a couple of crumbling stones kind of like. Aoife, you make your way up, climb through the window just to where Jem is and kind of like tiptoe down. You see the creature now like basically fully up on the edge of the wall and looking down and around.
Oh boy, we're dead.
Hilda, you're
Okay.
next.
I'm stressed out.
You hear the cracking of stone with each step though. As you slip your leg through the crack of the window, kind of the creature. And you hear as Hilda sneezes and the head turns, begins to look directly towards you guys. What do you guys want to do?
Time to shine, literally.
I am uncovering that orb and I'm touching it with my hand.
You can like feel the light penetrating through your eyelids. You hear this creature kind of like, Hilda, What would you like to do?
First things first, I'm going to cover my eyes, get the shield ready, and do my best to point it in the direction of this hideous monster.
The shield just kind of like reflecting the light from the orb behind it, the entire cavern illuminated.
Can Jem see if the creature is looking in the direction of the
Are you wearing the
shield?
cap?
Yes, I am.
Then you can see all things.
Haha,
And
see
right
all.
now, it is definitely looking in your guys' direction.
I'm just going to stay with my bow and arrow at the ready in case it doesn't get fully petrified.
Okay, so if it's still moving after like the next moment, you want to try and shoot it?
Yep.
Okay, good to know. End of the creature's turn. As it begins to turn to stone,
Matt rolls a saving throw for the creature. If it fails, it'll turn to stone. But if it passes,
you see it kind of like... And you see its hand kind of like... The stone begin to break off of it. It's going to take a swipe at Hilda, but you get to shoot your arrow first.
during a battle, the attacker always rolls a 20-sided dice to hit the opponent. They roll it against the opponent's armor class. The creature our party is fighting has an armor class of 14, so anything above a 14 is gonna hit it.
17?
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely hits. Damn good strike as this arrow sails off. Did not appreciate that. But it is going to take an attack at you, Hilda. That is a 22 to hit.
There are always bonuses to your attack roll, so you actually can roll higher than a 20.
Did you say 22?
Yeah, I rolled pretty high.
Hilda's armor class is 15.
So it's going to hit you for 11 piercing damage. As it claws at you with its claw, however, it also does 6 poison damage as well.
Every character in D&D has a finite amount of health points. As you take damage, you need to heal. If your health points ever drop to 0, your character dies.
So it's a stupid creature that does good damage.
That's all it can do at the moment. Aoife, you're up.
I'm gonna give some bardic inspiration to Hilda.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Bardic Inspiration is a special trait of the
We
bard.
can do this.
It's essentially a magical cheer that gives another dice to a player for their next turn.
For the people of the village
And Growly.
and the ale that we'll get to after this.
That too.
I'm gonna disengage, backflip through that window, obviously land on my feet like a champ. I'm gonna toss the shield over to Aoife. You catch it, no problem.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna pull out my longbow, square up as best I can, and let her rip.
As you fire your arrow, it sails through and you see it kind of bounce off of its thick hide. Aoife, you have the shield. You're
Okay.
still pointing it towards the creature.
I am. And I still have the orb.
It's going to make another check against its own self as it's kind of...
Matt rolls an intelligence check for the monster to see if it recognizes itself.
As it screams, it's like goes to kind of charge towards the mirror as if it's like a hostile towards this, and it takes 1 or 2 steps before it starts to like. You see the stone beginning to go down its throat, and then you see its fingers and hands beginning to turn to stone, and as it's clawing away, kind of like. Completely petrified from head to toe to tail.
Oh my god. We did it.
Aoife, put the orb away so we can go and take a look.
Okay, I'm doing it. I wrapped the orb back up in the silk.
Okay. As the room goes dark again, you guys can like see. You can see the whole time because you have the cap on.
Yep.
The creature is like, first of all, grotesque and shit, but completely statue. The skin is stone. And you guys hear this kind of like. You see, like coming in through the main entrance, he's just kind of like, where is it? Oh, it's not dead. It's frozen. You did it. We need to get inside of its stomach.
Yeah, okay. I'll cut it open.
Okay, make it go.
So I kind of chip and kind of chip away at it.
As you do, you chip away at the stone, and you, like, it's weird because you think it's going to be statue underneath, but as soon as like the skin and stuff breaks open, the insides are still warm and gooey. And as you like kind of pry it off, kind of pops off, he kind of
Yes!
sticks his hand straight into this creature and like pulls out this goo and just starts throwing guts and things like that on the floor before the rest of him basically climbs entirely inside and just his legs are like dangling out right now. And he's kind of like muffled into this creature. You see him like pulling vials out of his back pocket and kind of like cramming things in. And you hear this kind of like gurgled sound like,
Only by my legs!
How do you buy your legs?
Pull me out! I'm bit stuck!
So I guess I pull him out.
disgusting, like covered in like guts and everything. He's like dripping from head to toe.
This should do. Come, we haven't much time. The elixir is complete.
All right.
Let's go.
He scurries down the staircase. He's not waiting.
Will it die? I'm yelling after him. Is it going to die? Is it dead?
I would imagine that creature isn't going to live without its stomach.
Moss heads to the entrance of the cave where a river that flows to the rest of the island and into the groundwater flows by. Hurriedly, he pours his elixir into the river.
Yes, this should seep into the groundwater. It will cure all, I can guarantee that. Yes. I have a little bit left. Enough for one individual.
Please. Thank you.
Now I must go back to my home. There are a few things that are of interest now. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Turns into a moth and just... You guys continue on to the ransacked tavern. You see Growly in his position, still frozen in stone.
I stand there for a moment, contemplating. I kneel down, I uncap the vial, and I pour it into the mouth, and I wait.
Okay. As you pour it in, you see it enter his mouth as it drizzles down. A moment or two. As you watch and wait, you see the pink in his lips begin to turn before the rest of his skin and the stone begins to fade away before he kind of like cracks his neck. Oh my lord.
Welcome back, sleepyhead.
What happened?
Well, the creature came along here, you got petrified, a lot of people died.
Surrounded blood everywhere.
We slayed the creature. And
You've done it.
yes,
Honey! Just
honey is not yet. I'm not 100% sure.
we must check on him. Goes around, and comes around the corner, and you can hear Honey from outside, from even where you guys are, kind of like, my toes! I can feel my toes! Thank you. Thank you all. Would you join me?
Yes.
All right. I wasn't expecting an answer that quickly. You are welcome to join the crew of my ship. I'll teach you the ways of the sea, how to sail. You can join me in my next adventure. We will head to Festa in search of a great treasure that has been lost to the giants. We'll leave in a few days, once Honey is recovered. Things are starting to look brighter.
Growly has all hands on deck as he prepares his ship to sail for more lucrative lands. The lasting wave now with Hilda, Jem, and Aoife, a party of heroes ready for more adventure. Created, directed, edited, and narrated by Bradley Rivers. Produced by Bradley Rivers, Matt Ralph, Ryan Delahanty, and Mike Zakshevsky. Written by Matt Ralph and Bradley Rivers. Performances by Matt Ralph, Jenny Bovard, Jillian Stewart, and Carolyn Naylor. Music composed by Jess Yonker. Animation by Digital Ronin. Sound mix and mastered by Kyle Taylor. Director of Photography, Mike Zakshevsky. Camera operators, Mike Zakshevsky, Martin Noel, and Bradley Rivers. Sound recorded by Sheldon Hashi. Makeup by Ariana Roberts. Coordinating producer, Jennifer Johnson. Integrated Described Video Specialist, Ron Rickford. Content Development Specialist, Ryan Delahanty. President and CEO, David Arrington. VP Content Development and Programming, John Melville. Director of Programming, Brian Perdue. Director of Production, Kara Nye. Thank you to Good Robot Brewing, Wizards of the Coast, Mini World Masters, and Dwarven Forge. Copyright 2022, Accessible Media Inc.